Hi, let me show you how you can leave this bulky thing at home when you go traveling in favour for this. This story started when I was just happily skipping across a field with some mates watching YouTube videos, and I come across a video by my good friend, dear matey, my chum, the awesome Bruce, smart Brucey boy, Brucinator, the Bruce Meister, Brucington, Bruce Mix, whatever, Bruce. His video about his bike travel hacks. He went around the world and he says that he was traveling around the world with one of those, one of these, on a jigsaw thou. Oh, there we go. He's so fast, probably because he rides the jigsaw thou. So let me pause it. There. Oh, so quick. That's the jigsaw thou for you. There we go. Right. So here, like that. And yeah. Okay. So he's got a 4 thingy. But so you might be like Bruce, you travel around the world with one of these, or one of these, or one of these. Look, Bruce, I let you down. I should have told you. I should have made this video earlier. Should have made it before you went out and conquered the world and lived your life. I'm sorry, I let you down, Brucey boy, Brucinator, Bruce Meister, Bruce. I should have made this video before, because in 2011 I made this. It's a lot more compact than the one you had, Bruce, and in its native form, which is without this thing here. It works in all European countries, and at the end of it, it's got these. So input, output. UK, Hong Kong and other places. Put one of these on it and it works in the great colony in the West, the United States. I'm sorry, Bruce, I should have made it earlier. I let you down, I know. No, don't be mad. So the secret to all of this is these ones. Figure 8. Let me explain. So in 2011, when we went to Sweden and Finland on our bikes, I had learned from my previous rides that I carried tons of chargers and cables and stuff, and I just wanted to pare down on that. I quickly realized that the secret lies in the figure of 8. You go on the interweb and you buy a USB charger like this. This one is 2 gang, this one is 4 gang, and then suddenly one of these replaces 4 of these, for example. The key is that when you press this button here like that and you change the power plug that comes with them, they come with tons of these. But see, in there is that awesome famous figure of 8. Here's another example. Pop off. Figure of 8. There's another one. Every Apple charger that has got a separate plug has got that. There you go. Figure of 8. This is the current MacBook charger. In the past they had special connectors, the MagSafe one. So you had to bring your MacBook charger with you, MacBook Pro charger. But they still have figure of 8. With this cable, if I plug in the 4 gang one the 2-gun one, and the MacBook charger. So now, out of this little setup here, I can charge a laptop and 6 USB devices. Well, it gets a bit better. I don't know. I'll give you some more examples. In Bruce's little video, he had one of these in charge. This is the DJI Mavic charger, Mavic drone, and again, there you go. Lovely figure of 8. Plug it in. Now you can charge your Mavic batteries, but it also comes with 2 USB chargers. Here's a cheapo aftermarket battery charger for some of the Sony camera batteries. Again, figure of 8. Figure of 8. Plugged it in there and you can charge it. Another one example is the DJI Osmo charger, the gimbal. Figure of 8. So with this setup here, you can charge Mavic batteries, 2 USB, Osmo, and a laptop. So this cable has served me really well over many years, and I haven't really had any reasons to change it. There have been times when I've been in a hotel room and I could have done with a little bit more charging capacity, and it is not very long, so from there to there and there. And that's deliberate because it packs down really small. It goes down like that into the bag. So yeah, and the last trip we did this summer, went to the Alps, and now we both have USB-C chargers, so you can get one of these chargers. Again, figure of 8. Now this one has got 3 high power USB chargers ports on it, but also a USB-C port. So with that in mind, if I use one of the sockets here on this one, I now can plug in a few other things and everything will be charged from that. Because we had 2 computers with us and you know, intercoms and cameras and various things, Kaz bought another one, another brand, again with 3 USB ports and a USB-C port, so USB-A to be correct. So with those 2 there, and let's say this one here, so now we're getting into mega charging territory, and frankly, if you need this, maybe you should have a little bit less gadget with you. So anyway, so here's the charging setup now. So from one cable you could power all of these devices. That is now, let me see, that's 10 USB-A ports and 2 USB-C ports. One warning with these ones now in 2018 when I'm recording this, some of these look very good, look the same, but they only charge with something like 20 watts or something like that through the USB-C port. So if you have a laptop and you want it charged properly, then you need to make sure that it can put out proper amount of power. Now there is another benefit with this system, is that you can leave all of those at home. Take with, leave at home. So again, slim down your setup. So in the interest of science, I'm going to build another one. I've been pretty happy with the 3 outputs. That having a 4th one could have been good at some point, maybe, perhaps, I think. One situation that I've often found myself in various hotel rooms is that there has been one socket next to the bed and the nightstand light has been plugged into that one. So I can unplug that and plug my super duper charge cable in, and it's been all good, except I've been in the dark, you know, monsters and all that stuff, so don't like that. So what I would like to do is have some sort of pass-through so that I can, let's play pretend. This is the cable for the night light. I unplug this and plug this one in, and now I have nowhere to plug this one in. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to have another socket on this super duper cable that allows me to plug this one in. There we go. So now I don't have to be afraid of the monsters. I can have the light on and my gadgets will be charged. Another thing that I have missed in several times is that this is not very long, and sometimes the socket has been really close to the floor and the table has been a higher table and I can't put my gadgets on the table, so they're all on a pile on the floor. So another thing that I might want to have is a bit of an extension. To make one of the cables, how many is up to you, and what configuration is up to you. I've also got a plug here, which I don't think I'll use, maybe I will, and then I have a few female Euro sockets, and then I have some recessed figure of 8 connectors. I now need to figure out what to do with all of this. So let me think. No, go away. Let me think. You're bored enough. Please. I've been thinking, and I've come to the conclusion that I will make a cable with 1 Euro input and 4 figure of 8 outputs, and on top of that I will add a Euro output. Compared to the old one, this one will have 1 more figure of 8 and 1 Euro output. Then on top of that I will make a figure of 8 input to Euro output, and that will look like this. So Euro output and figure of 8 input, and it will be that type, like that. It won't be anything more than that. And the idea behind this one is that I can take some Euro standard figure of 8 cable, and I could turn this into an extension cable, which would solve the issue of having stuff lying on the floor if I have 2 of these cables with me anyway. Let's build the cable. Before we proceed, a word of warning. This is entertainment only, not instructions. Electricity is dangerous, it can kill. Don't attempt this unless you fully understand what you're doing. Ensure that anything you make is safe to use and follows local regulations. Make sure you never overload the wires or any other part of the circuit. Don't sue me. Right, so I'm going to show you now exactly how I attach one cable to the main cable. So there's the input, there's the output. I will cover this bit here with Sugru so that it's safe. Here's the first figure of 8 output that I've done. So I'm going to do another one, and I'll start off with one that I've cut off from a cable. And the first thing I'll do is I'll figure out on the main cable where I want the spur cable, and I've used heat shrink tube, so the next one needs to be at least far enough for you to solder with the heat shrink tube on the cable. So if you want that long heat shrink tube, you need to have at least start from there. So otherwise you can't slide the heat shrink tube onto here and then slide it back over the joint. So once I determine where I want the next link, I use just a sharp knife and I make a small score on the cable, and I try to make it all the way around. It is just a tiny bit of a score. It is just easy then to bend it. Where's the camera? Let's see if I can look. Let me bend that open. Right, so tease it a little bit more, but just adding a violent bend to the cable tend to open that up in the insulation in the protected plastic. Right, like that. So see, you can see the blue and the brown in there. And then I select a spot a little bit further up and I repeat the process. So now we have 2 breaks in the outer sheeting, and then because I know there's 2 cores in this one, I will use the knife to score centrally along the cable on the flat side between those 2 parts. That means I can then tear it off like that, like this, yeah, and then I can pull that off like that. So outer sheeting's on and we have 2 exposed cables, and then I decide which one's going to be cut where. Let me show that with a Sharpie. So to avoid the cables touching, or the strands of copper wire touching, I'm going to cut one piece there and the other piece there. Does that make sense? So I'm going to cut one at one point on the length of the cable and the other one at another point length of the cable, so that minimizes the risk of the copper strands touching each other. And I'll do it the same way. I'll take the knife and I'll just gently cut around the cable. Gently cut around the cable. These copper strands are very fragile, so you don't need very much force at all. And then when I have those, again I make a cut along the length of the copper cable between those 2 cuts across. There we go. So now I can open up the cable kind of like that, like this. Yeah, you can see that. Yeah, there you go. You can see it. And then I can basically unwrap the cable from around, or the insulation from around the cable. One more time. This time with the feeling. And then I should be able to pull it open again. There we go, like that, like so. There we go. So now we have 2 exposed pieces of copper for the camera, like that, and they are not at the same point, and that's the good bit. Now we need to prepare the part of that one. So now we somehow need to measure like the length of it and take a little bit more than what you just cut off from the other one. And I think you know what I'm going to say with this one. That you take the knife and you carefully score it and bend it. Okay, this one. And if you put a bend on the cable and you have that, make it into a U shape like that, and then you just carefully score on top of it. You can see how the sheeting, the insulation just basically just falls away, and then you can just pull it off like so. And then comes time to not forget about the shrink tubing. And this is the type of shrink tube that has got glue inside of it. So not only is it hugging it like, well, insert your own innuendo here. But it also got some shmoo in there. Insert your own innuendo there too, to hold it in place. So in this case now we have cable like that, by the camera, like so. So now we need to cut. In this case the brown one needs to be, this one needs to be shorter than the blue one. So it seems like I cut them a little bit too long, so I'll just use that one. And then we can do, strip that one off like so. There we go. And then we cut the brown one a little bit shorter, like so. And cut a similar amount of so. And the like so. And that we can then take one cable and stick it around the other one, like so. Twist it around, press it down there, and then we do the other one also, like so. That leaves us this beautiful concoction, like so. Just so you know, put the blue to the blue and the brown to the brown. Right, I had to write that down, so it can be quite difficult to figure it out. And once you have that, you solder them together. And by soldering them together, I mean the blue to the blue and the brown to the brown, not all of them just into one bunch, because that would be quite catastrophic for the pixies. And that little trick should leave you with that. I'll show that on the other camera. There we go. So yeah, that's that. And now, to make sure that we only have happy pixies, we're going to put some insulating tape there, electrical tape. And the way I do that is I cut several little pieces like that. Yeah, like so. Little pieces like that. And then I will stick that piece of tape in under there, and then I will bend that over there to there, and I will then do like 2 or 3 per connection. And the most important thing is obviously that the electrical tape goes where the copper strands might touch each other. Now, this, like that. Just tons of, and then slide the shrink wrap across it to is one connection. So you need to repeat this as many as you want. There we go. Other camera. Let's say connection there. And 2, 3. 2 more to do, and that means that I'll do one more like that, and then the last one will just be a straight on. And the reason why I cut it off to begin with was so that I could get the shrink tube on. It turned out that I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extensions, not 4 as I said. The reason for that is that I'm a little bit stupid. I cut one extension figure 8 off and put it aside, and then I cut 4. So I now have a very super duper cable, because that's what I call this, a super duper cable, because I think it's super duper. Right, so here it is. Let me show it. This is it. This is it in its entirety. So input Euro contact, another output Euro contact, and then there is 5 figure 8 extensions. Right, cool. So this bit here now needs a bit of screw, and that will secure it all, and not only secure it, makes it pretty too, because pretty is important. And then I made this one, and that is a figure 8 input to a Euro output, and that means that you can now use that onto the figure 8, which means that this is now a regular extension cord. Yeah, off to get Sugru. Sugru comes in these small sachets. You just cut them open, and there's this blue tack like substance in there that you just mold into whatever shape you need it to be. It's water resistant, heat resistant, and all sorts of good properties. It takes about 24 hours for it to cure, depending on the size of the blob that you're creating. You can smooth it and shape it in various ways. I use a bit of soapy water and just rub my finger across it to make a smooth surface of it. Highly recommended. So, once again, sorry Bruce that I didn't tell you. I hope we can still be friends. And there you have it. Hopefully that'll save you a little bit of weight and space in your luggage. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I will see you here again